Oh, do get a spicy character. Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we have two whiskies from America. And this time they're not from a state that is well known for their whiskey, but they are from Illinois. And they are from Evanston, Illinois. So, what is it? We have two bottles of the distillery. We have, I think this one is the bourbon, right? This one's bourbon, and this one is the rye. Today, we're gonna have a look at the rye. The rye from FEW is a typical rye with a high rye content. The mash bill is 70% rye, 20% corn, and 10% malted barley. And with 10% malted barley, that means you don't have to add any enzymes to split up the starches from the different grains. So you can just put it in your mash tun, mash it, and the malted barley, or the enzymes of the malted barley, will do the trick naturally and split up the starches into sugar. Not all the starch, but most of the starch. So many of you wonder, FEW, never heard of them. What does FEW stand for? And FEW stands for Frances Elizabeth Willard. She was actually called Frances Elizabeth Caroline Willard, but maybe that was too long. And she was, I think I've read, she was from Evanston, and she was a women's rights advocate. She was for women's right to vote and for fair work conditions, and she was just promoting the women's rights. But also a bit controversial was that she promoted the prohibition, which then later took place in the early 20th century. So I don't really know why they named the whiskey distillery after FEW. They said they wanted to show their heritage and that kind of stuff, but I think she wouldn't be happy with a whiskey, so I don't know. And also, they opened the distillery in a dry county. And here we have a fountain on it. I think this one is, yeah, this one I know. And this fountain looks very special, but I'm not sure which fountain it is. Maybe some people from you are from Illinois. Is that, wait, I'll show it to you a bit closer. Is that the Buckingham Fountain? I think Buckingham Fountain is in Chicago. I was looking for fountains in Illinois, but that one looked pretty similar. So I think they're promoting a bit of the heritage from Illinois and with their name and a bit of this fountain. So just leave me one in the comments below if I'm right. The spirit is 46% ABV. That's 93 proof for all you Americans. It's a small batch. Didn't find any batch number on it though. And what they say is aged in charred new oak barrels less than 4 years. So it's a relatively young whiskey. And what they also say is aged in air-dried oak barrels. Air-dried oak barrels. I know if you dry an oak barrel, it gets leaky. But I think what they mean is air-dried oak barrels. So the oak that was used for the production of the barrel was air-dried. Because I've done a video about the production of barrels in the United States. And what they do beforehand is they let the wood rest for a few months. Usually they do 6 months for special cases like Maker's Mark, and I think Woodford, they extend this period. I think that's what they mean with the air-dried oak barrels. The air-dried oak barrels in these first 6 or in other cases, longer time is there to get some of the bitter substances out of the oak, of the typical American white oak. But American white oak is usually not bitter in the first place, but it gets even smoother. Oh, you do get a spicy character, but also a grainy character. So it's a bit of sweetness as well. It's a sweet cereal bowl with some spices in there. Some herbs as well. It's a good mixture between spicy and herbs. Spicy and herby? I don't know. What's the adjective for herb? But it's not going very deep in there. Dude, we had a good kick from the increased alcohol content with a good amount of spiciness, like a good rye bread, a bit of a bell pepper note. Yeah, also combined with a bit of a black pepper note, and it's rather dry. From the spices, I always would associate that it should be bitter in the aftertaste. I don't get any bitterness. So unexpectedly, I would have expected more sweetness from the nose. Didn't get that much sweetness. And you start off with a lot of spiciness, also a few wood tones, and a very, very subtle sweetness. It's just not intense. It's just very subtle, easy, combined with a very spicy and a heavy note that starts very spicy in the beginning and slowly fades out. The sweetness in the end, when you can actually define it, when the spiciness tones a bit out, I would say it's a bit of a slightly honey note. Now in the long aftertaste, you do get a bit of a woody, bitter tannin note, but also very subtle. I would have expected it much more aggressive, younger, with a more metallic note in it. Get a little bit of a youth in there, but it's matured pretty well for a 4-year-old. So, yeah, interesting whiskey. Please stay tuned if you want to see the bourbon in the next video. And if you want to chat with us, just head over to Whisky.com, log in with 2 clicks with your Google account, and then start chatting with us, and we will answer your questions in the next day. Thank you for watching.